This is a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.
And now, Weekend Update City correspondent Stefan.
Milford's hottest new nightclub is called Man Cave. Located 13 miles south of the cat resort to the rich and famous called Meow What. Club owner and P.F. Chang's entree, Dan Noodles Patrick, says this club has everything. From human home improvement demonstrations, a telenovela extra who gets injured every time he goes into the photo booth, a transient from Omaha who spends way too much time in the hookah lounge and then comes and tells everyone he's raised by felines, and a disgraced school crossing guard who thinks he's a giant dill pickle. Oh, and the password is, the box score starts now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes out in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, let's get right to it. Peyton Manning stands atop of the mountain with 510 touchdown passes as the Broncos destroyed the Niners last night. Fritzy, how are the Zubaz pants this morning?
The Zubaz pants were worn from about 5 p.m. till yesterday till sometime this morning around 6 o'clock. Had a bright orange Bronco old school shirt going. Had the rocking the Bronco pajama / Zubaz pants, and it was very nice to see Manning get the record and Denver take care of business against San Francisco last night.
Well, another man who's celebrating a big weekend win is Mr. Seton O'Connor, but today the celebration got a little out of hand.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, and in the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
How about them ears, Danny?
Take me home.
You know, I actually love John Denver, and I have no ear whatsoever, and I didn't even really hate Seton Newton. I love the enthusiasm. You know, people might not know this, but I've been a big Baylor fan. I'm always on Twitter. So West Virginia beat Baylor, and I was waiting for your Baylor Bears lost. I got 0 tweets. I got 1 text from Paulie saying, "Hey, Baylor is in trouble," and then I came in and said, "Yeah, I knew that was coming all along." He's like, "Oh yeah, it's funny you didn't say that Friday, but I did." Did you guys hear me tell you that West Virginia was going to win?
No. A couple things there. It's kind of, he should be like a Carlos Santana type, where he plays the guitar and brings someone else to do the singing. But you know, enthusiasm always wins. I'm glad John Denver's not alive to hear that though.
You know, it always sounds a lot better when you're with 20,000 of your closest friends singing that. You're like, yeah, man, I really nailed that. And then all this, in your head, it sounds much different than when you actually play the tape back.
I saw you getting in some Twitter fights about people wanting to ban John Denver from the show. That's not going to happen, right, Seton?
Well, a guy did say it should be an FCC violation every time you play John Denver on the air, and that guy was immediately blocked.
Well, they were doing some violating of some couches down there in West Virginia after the victory. Paulie, have you ever attended a post-game celebration like that where things got a little out of hand?
The Chicago Bulls back in the early 90s, if you went down on Rush Street, it got a little out of hand, but not like that. I mean, they would push some cars. People were dumb enough to park their cars on Rush Street after a Bulls playoff win. But I've never really been in the college football scene where it's been out of hand. Like Michigan State is notorious, West Virginia and others. But I guess I'm being kidding on air, but I would never burn a couch. I think to finding a good couch is something that's really tough to do. And in college, you don't have a lot of dispensable cash to buy couches. So I don't know what they do. Like for the rest of the week, are these kids not sitting on anything? What are they doing here?
I was at a Lakers NBA championship clinching game at Staples, and they showed what was going on outside on the big screen, and it just looked like a total disaster. And there was cops all over the place and roads blocked. And thankfully we found a way to sneak out towards the back. Someone in the PR showed us another way out where we can get to our car. But it was looked like there was a lot of scared people inside the arena that weren't in any rush to go outside based on what they were showing what was going on as far as the celebration outside.
In 1996. Oddly enough, in Morgantown, West Virginia. My details might be a little off on this with the game, but Miami was really good that year, and West Virginia was just about to beat them. It was this amazing game, and they lost on like a blocked punt maybe or something like that. I was kind of seeing 3 of the game at that point, and they lost just a heartbreaker of a game, and there was a mini riot there where they flipped a bunch of ambulances, lit a bunch of fires, and at the moment, I was like, whoa, this is awesome. This is like the coolest day ever. And then the next day when I woke up, I checked my messages, and my dad was saying, I hope you guys are proud of yourselves, you damn fools. And then it was sort of like, yeah, you know what? Actually, that's really dumb. We just lost a game. Why were we throwing, gigantic barrels of stuff everywhere?
Barrels?
Oh, man. I grew up in Philly, so we didn't really have a lot of winners to celebrate in the championship sense. I think there was an occasional one here and there. But I'll tell you, every Sunday, we had season tickets at Veterans Stadium. There were things being lit on fire. There was danger. There was chaos.
And they really have prisons down there.
Oh my God! Every week was like that. And then, by the way, 1984 Jewish Youth League, when we won the championship,
there you go.
The Manischewitz was flowing after that. I don't know. We're not doing personal celebrations, but that was wild. Yarmulkes all fly up in the air like graduation.
Dangerous.
Day. It was awesome.
Throwing dreidels and menorahs at each other. It gets crazy.
That's crazy. I was in Aggieville in 1986 when they rolled over a car. And 2 weeks, I think it was about a month later, I was working with a girl at the Varsity Theater, and she was talking about what a rough time she'd had since she'd moved to town. She's like, I got a leaky roof, I can't make rent, and on top of it, my car got rolled over in the riots, which I had nothing to do with, but I felt sorry for her.
Learn where to park.
Yeah. Okay, well, there was couches burning in Morgantown. Well, someone should have burned a match in the man cave because the boss walked squarely into one today.
I go right here, and then I'm stunned, but I fight through it.
I kept going through.
I fight through it, but Paulie didn't absorb it, so you didn't acknowledge it.
This is a little bit of a diversion. This is a diversionary tactic by you. You left your door open, which we all know causes a major draft.
I was over there for like 3 minutes.
You may have been
I
your
was over
side
there
of
for
the
3
room,
minutes.
and now it's finally
Nice
sneaking
try.
out.
Wasn't it Socrates who said whoever claimed it laid it?
Socrates, yeah.
I'm gonna go.
No,
it was either Seton, maybe McLovin with a sneak attack, or this guy on this camera right here.
That guy.
That's Nick right there.
Fancy jeans.
Yeah.
Classic diversionary move by Dan Patrick to point out a number of possible suspects and then, just not even talk about himself. Look, I was there. I was right in the midst of things there, and it hit me pretty hard too. But I'm not ready to point any fingers yet because I hate, not knowing and accusing someone. That being said, this area right here was almost quarantined off.
Seton, can you accuse someone for us? Who did it?
Of course. Well, I'm sort of caught between 2 main perpetrators. The sort of road McLovin was going down with you smelt it, you dealt it. Certainly applies to Dan Patrick here. And a great move to be like, whoa, I just dropped one, and then wait a minute, one of you guys really stinks. That would be very much up Dan's alley. If it wasn't Dan, I have to go with this area. That's sort of Paul's area. I believe that's Paul's beef.
But I wasn't in the area when it happened. I have an alibi. I was on camera over there.
I know, and that's what makes me think even more that it was yours. I feel like you beefed, went over there real quick, and then came back thinking it would have dispersed by then, and it had.
You're saying Paulie almost had the perfect crime?
Almost.
It's not like
almost got away with it?
It's not like it's on a timer. I mean, if you could check the tape, Brock, I think I went over there at least 45 seconds before the incident went down to do some type of presentation. I would assume I was out of this area for almost a good minute. I don't know how I would possibly do that.
If you were here, there's a few things that can't translate over television, and there was a certain thickness to the overall issue here that made it sort of hover here.
And you know
sort of like a fog. Yeah, I know. If there's a little hickory scent to it.
If you're breaking it down by style and content, I don't mind you looking at that side of it. But when you say that I somehow left it here, went over there, and then from a remote location.
Normally something like that would trail behind you. We call it crop dusting. Back row would have gotten that. However, yours just, the alleged, just sort of hung here.
Libelous. That's libelous. I hope you check the tape, Brock.
Well, maybe you're like Jeff Dunham and you can like sort of throw your voice in a sense. Okay. Whoever rhymed it, chimed it. That's what we're going with. Okay, stay with us. After this, we're going to talk some tailgating. Proper tailgating, not tail emissions. Welcome back to Box Score. We were going to talk tailgating, but I think we need to dig deeper into the mystery that is unfolding before our eyes here. Let's do the let's peel back the layers on this 7-layer dip. Paulie, you stand accused of dropping one in the man cave seat and accuse you. Please, anything in your defense?
I'll tell you, it was out of hand here during the commercial break, Broccoli. You heard it out there. People are lobbing insults, accusations, exhibits of evidence were being thrown out there. Libel, the slander. I'm just going to say in my own defense, all I'm going to do is let the tape speak for itself. I said I was out of this region when said thing was happened. So if you could cue up that tape, this is the look in where something went down. Now, if you'll notice, I get up out of my seat, head over to the board, and I'm out of the area for quite a long time. Look, I'm nowhere near that area. I've left for...
Seaton already.
Whoa, what is that?
Something out of there.
What was that waving maneuver?
Yeah, what is this waving maneuver?
Now, Brock, I don't have a stopwatch on this, but if you go with the rest of the look-in, I was out of there for a good 35 seconds. I don't know how I could have done what I'm accused of and have there be remnants.
Paulie, but there was a slight pause in your walk. What happened?
It's cue that back up.
Cue that tape back up and you'll see Paul with a little...
Was that real time or was there a...
I don't move very fast.
I don't know. I felt like there was a break in your stride. Right.
The total look-in was a minute and a half.
Now, I seem to be walking normal there. Did I do something?
I don't know. It's like, an NFL replay. You can't tell in real time.
Now, see,
I feel like Paul got up and sort of gave a little... shook one out and then slowly walked off.
All right, if we're going to go that direction, let's go that direction. You're standing up in that area quite a bit too, little guy.
Yes.
If you notice, Seaton's stretching his back and moving his arms out and shaking stuff around. Like, how sometimes you make a noise when you have to, drop one?
Like, I did one of those,
Yeah. So, I mean, look.
And then, was this move by Seaton?
Yeah.
Was this is my joke move?
Right.
Or
is that
this
my
just
cheesy
like,
punchline
Is there an
move,
open
or is
head
that
creating a
Are you
walk?
trying to swab
I
the
just
decks
threw it.
of your own gash?
What I'm really doing is throwing it over there towards your side.
Yes, you put it. You directed some air into that general direction.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a tainted evidence right there.
Wow.
Brock, I mean, I'll put it to you. If you had to call it right now, what do you think happened?
Well, here's the deal. You were walking towards Dan there. That's not when Dan walked through it. It was after you returned that I think maybe the crime was committed. And maybe there was a sort of a time release situation.
I wasn't even in town when it happened.
Well, then I look back there and you see Dan swinging, and he could have strained at some point, knowing that he has injuries, and just leaked a little something out there on the follow-through. And on his return... I'm gonna pull a Fritzy here. I'm gonna back Dan completely because you can't walk into your own crop dusting. That's the inherent nature of crop dusting, is that you are in the clear. You're like you're Usain Bolt, and the rest of the guys are just trailing you.
So, all right. Did anyone else, though? I mean, I don't know if we have to go back and look at the full tape here because we only saw a portion of it. Did anyone else cross through this area other than Dan and Paul?
A third party scene? Are you
Maybe there was
Grassy Knoll.
Grassy Knoll situation.
Grassy Knoll.
Somebody else came through. Gassy Knoll.
The Gassy Knoll.
And we just didn't realize that they went through there.
And the only other thing Brock wanted to bring up is that Fritzy is awful quiet.
I have been extremely quiet about this whole
Dan is
scene.
walking back right through the area.
I would probably have a nervous giggle, though, and take credit for it.
Somebody beef right there.
I'm just getting back to my seat.
Oh, boy.
That bears me out.
Yeah, you did come in from off the side, so I think you might be innocent.
We'll stay on this story.
Okay, we'll continue.
Wait
with
a
this.
minute. No. Hold on a second. It was absolutely Dan. It was 100% Dan, okay? He came walking through here, right? Stopped at the door and then was like, wait a minute, there's something really stinky right back there. Right where he just walked through. That's definitely his own crop dusting because nobody else even smelled it before he went back and was like, see, huh?
I'm going to blame
whoa, that
everybody
really
before they blame
stinks.
me.
Right there, he did it.
Very
Wait a minute.
clever.
There's something stinky back there.
Can't possibly be me because I'm the one that's pointing it out.
It was him. It was definitely him. I'll bet. Paul, I apologize. I definitely blame Dan 100,000% on that.
Brock, can we stay on this story out there, get some more video, more audio? Maybe Dr. Bodden, the forensic expert, can take a look at this?
Absolutely. We have expert witnesses. We will introduce each one more fascinating than the one prior to that. Okay, enough of this battle. Stick around after this. We battle for the mock headline championship belt. Welcome back to the Box Score. Another action-packed weekend on the gridiron, and as we like to do every Monday, time to throw on the war paint, take off the heels and the earrings, and get it on. In this week's
Mock Headline Battle Royale.
Are you in for it now? Okay, I'll give you a headline, you give me a mock headline. First headline, Florida State survives a thriller at home against number 5 Notre Dame. McLovin, you are first.
Okay, this is from a Notre Dame perspective. FS, you suck, refs. Irish eyes ain't smiling over that call.
Oh, beautiful. Seton.
Seaman hold. What about that penalty, ref? What about the holding on the defense?
Very angry entry. Fritzy.
I wish they didn't call pass interference, but Winston stays Tala classy.
Molly, give it to us.
Seminole shit. Refs call back touchdown on the Irish.
Gonna have to censor that one.
Crowd goes wild. Our next headline, DeMarco Murray sets NFL record with 7th straight 100-yard rushing performance. Polly, lay it on me.
DeMarco, Polo, defenders can't find Cowboys running back.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
Got the same one?
Got out in front on this one. Fritzy, what do you have?
I have Turn Your Brown Upside Down. Dallas fans delirious as Jim's record broken.
What can Brown do for you? Seton, you're up.
Is there an echo in here? DeMarco, Polo, DeMarco, Polo. No child's play in that dude's game.
Wow, they turned on you.
McLovin, your headline, please.
DeMark it down. Murray will burn out by season's end.
Bully! Our third headline, Rams upset Seahawks thanks to some tricky special teams play. Fritzy, what do you got?
I have Trick or Treat, not a Halloween for St. Louis.
Every year you use that one.
Not a Halloween.
Polly, can you outdo that?
Right, not a Halloween for St. Louis.
Ram and cheese. Hokey play fools the Seahawks. Ram and cheese.
Delicious. McLovin, your headline.
Isn't that special? Rams go all church lady on Seahawks. I don't know what that means.
Special delivery, mailing it in. Seton.
Spirit of St. Blewett. Seattle's too sleepy to salvage sucky season.
Our last headline, Peyton Manning throws 509th career TD pass, the most in NFL history. Paulie, you're up.
This is as Peyton Manning. Omaha. Sorry, Brett, I took your record.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
McLovin.
Oh, come on.
Peyton's place? Try the history books.
Oh. Good delivery.
Literary. Seton, your headline.
Shout out to Paul on this one. Peyton switch. Manning fakes touchdown hijinks. Thumbs down, dude. Super lame.
That was clever. I like that. Fritzy, lay it on me.
That's a large mountain of TDs. Amazing how far he's come.
Fantastic. Okay, there can only be one champion, though, and today's belt goes to Mr.
There should
Paul
actually
Pabst.
be no winner. Congratulations, Paul. That's collectively our worst batch of headlines.
I would like
no
to
doubt.
share this with the front row, but I'm not going to because I never, ever, ever win this.
Still to come, we're handing out a pointer, are we? It's the Dannett Football Night in America Challenge. Next. Welcome back to the Box Score. Last call here. Well, Peyton Manning set the record for most touchdown passes past Brett Favre last night, but we were more concerned who's going to say Peyton first. And in the fewest amount of words, was it Bob Costas or Dan Patrick, the other guy? Let's sort it out in this week's
The Dan Football Night in America Challenge.
I'll recap this week. Everyone said Bob, and Paul, you said he'd do it in 13 words. Fritzy, 18. Seaton, in 11. And McLovin, you said 7 words. Of course, I said 24 words before Bob drops Peyton. We made our count. And DP was quick on the draw, dropping Peyton in a mere 11 words in. Paul, you guys didn't think with Dan being in studio with Tony Dungy that he would be first to say Peyton Manning in this situation?
Well, I really thought they would open up the show and do a quick scene setter with Bob. That's what they say in the biz, scene setter. And they went to the studio first. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to whether they do that or not. But usually Bob gets in real early on a big game like this. Not sure what happened, but I'm telling you, when Bob finds out he was picked by all 4 of us and wasn't thrown to first by Football Night in America brass, he's going to raise a stink. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go right to Bob as well, Bob, because he likes to say Manning, and I was expecting Manning to be uttered as quickly as possible. So, yeah, I was surprised. I definitely thought they were going to go to Bob and then back to the studio.
Isn't Dan on the air, like, way before Bob Costas is?
But usually they do a quick little throw out to Bob at the start, at least in the history from what I remember. I don't know if there was a problem at the field. Did they want all of us to lose? Was this Dan saying, hey, I know my guys picked Bob, so I'm going to send a message and say, give it to me first? I could see that happening.
I think there might have been technical problems.
Do you have any basis in that?
Yes, because when they were doing a tease to our show later in, Bob lost. He's like, I don't know where we are right now, but I know Dan has a great show coming up this week.
He lost his train of thought or something.
Yeah, and there was a graphic.
Something about A.J. Green.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, something seemed a little off there. I saw the graphic, and it looked like there was a little confusion.
maybe they decided to get the ship tighter in Denver. The game was in Denver, right?
It was.
So that I think we all got. I think that's what blew us up.
Well, since everyone doubted the boss, no one gets a point this week. Our leaderboard remains the same. Paulie sits on top while
good news for the graphics guys.
Yeah, good news. 2 points, and Seaton and Fritzy bring up the rear with a point apiece. We thank the folks of Dan Nation for weighing in on Twitter as well. Remember to tweet us at The Box Score Show, hashtag BSFNC. This is enough of this frivolity. Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Bengals currently injured, but hopes to get back to play the Ravens on Sunday. Wide receiver A.J. Green. We may hear from Kurt Warner as well of NFL Network. And that's what's cooking so far. And later in the week, Howie Mandel in the New York City studios.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching The Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239 right here on DirecTV. Also, catch a podcast available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Cheers. Congrats, Peyton.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!
This was a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.